What invention is so good that it actually can't be improved upon? Story 1. I've heard the pin setter machine in bowling alleys has never had a redesign. It was perfect already. It depends. The fundamental mechanisms behind it has stayed the same, but different pin setters have made minor adjustments to make common issues, well, less common. As of modern day, new high-end pin setters actually have no perceivable way to change the core design. But yeah, this was what I was going to say too, lol. Near perfect for its purpose. Story 2. P-trap, a simple, elegant way to prevent odor from coming into your house via sink, toilet, etc. A lot of Asia still doesn't use this. Trust me, it makes a huge difference. Story 3. A mirror is as good as it gets for its usage. A wide-angle mirror that doesn't distort size, shape, or position. Story 4. The XLR cable. Until they can beam something directly into your head, we kind of hit a dead end for perceived sound. The simplicity of what a cable can do by allowing both AC and DC power to flow through so you can power and draw a signal from a microphone. Plus, the fact it's so simple to remove the noise you get from outside interference makes it even more genius. Phantom power. Story 5. Paperclip. Last major patent was in the 1880s. On a similar note, the binder clip, those little fuckers are the source of many life hacks. That's a funny name for a potato chip bag clip. Story 6. The brick. It has been made of mud, then mud with straw, then mud with clay, then finally with clay alone. That is as far as progress has taken the brick. In the, 8,000 years since it was invented, and it still is in use today. Someone, lost in the obscurity of ancient history, realized that you couldn't build a really strong stone structure with irregularly shaped small natural stones, and hewing huge lumps of stone into regular shapes was just ridiculously hard work. That person also observed that mud had fell into a fire, was left hardened when the fire died down. So they figured that if you shape mud into regular shapes big enough to carry one in each hand, you would have all the advantages of small irregular stones and large geometrically carved stones, but with none of the drawbacks of either. This thought must have taken a second to dawn on the inventor. The practical work to prove the concept must have taken a weekend at most. Perhaps a week or two to get the shape just right, and here we are, thousands of years later, and the damn thing has barely changed at all. The hollow concrete block is a major improvement. It is way more widely used around the world. Story 7. Pizza. You can change it up. You can ruin it. You can fold it in half like a crazy calzone munching madman. But you can't beat perfection. The calzones betrayed me? It's about the cones. Story 8. I'd say nail clippers. Rich and poor people use all the same thing to clip their nails. Rich people pay poor people to clip their nails for them. And those poor bastards use the same nail clipper the other poor bastards use. Story 9. Rubber bands. They work. When I was a kid, rubber bands would last for years. Now most of them fell within a year or so. Because they removed the cocaine. Story 10. Most professional classical music instruments are already in their final stage, like piano and violin. Taking the other tack, most orchestral scores do not feature saxophone because it wasn't developed until the 1840s, which is extremely recent on the musical timeline. I would argue that there have been innovations there. Someone added pickups and small speakers to a piano so players could better hear their own player. The electric violin, the keyboard. Woodwind instruments, on the other hand. Oh, how I live for the day that synthetic reeds actually replace cane. Laguerre is really, really close, but Van Doren still has them beat, especially on playing fill. Story 11. The pocket. Girls' pants have entered the chat. Seriously, don't know why you guys are denied the convenience of pockets so often. Pocket real estate is a crucial decision in my pants buying. If I get a pair of pants with less than 3 pockets, it's absolutely infuriating. Story 12. The spoon is a pretty incredible invention. It can also sub as a fork or a knife, and it has a great name. Those special self-stabilizing spoons to help people with hand trimmers feed themselves are pretty cool. Over-engineered for most people, but I'm happy they exist. Story 13. The basic sewing needle. It hasn't really changed for thousands of years. There is no need for it to change. I'd argue that sewing machines are just advanced sewing needles. I still can't figure out how they work. I've seen animations and videos of the mechanics, but my brain still refuses to process it, and it looks so simple. Almost too simple. Story 14. The toilet S-bend. We would still be throwing our Hershey soldiers out the window without it. Invented in 1775 and still used today. Source BBC and Crichton from Red Dwarf. It was actually improved on. It used to be an actual S-bend, but those would evaporate or could get kind of slurped out by another drain further down, so they made the U-bend. It has a vent pipe running up so that other toilet or sink or whatever on the same drain pipe could not siphon off the trap, where the water sits, the low point of the toilet. After the trap gets below a certain level, sewer gas, hydrogen sulfide, IIRC, gets in and makes the room smell like shit. It's been about 4 years since my plumbing class, but it was pretty memorable. A fun anecdote, one of the contributors to the rapid spread of SARS in an apartment block was dry traps. Investigators discovered that many bathrooms had floor drains whose traps were dry. This allowed aerosolized virus from a sick individual's feces to spread through the apartment complex via the plumbing system. Story 15. That mini trident you use to scratch your back, man, that's the best invention of the human race. I don't know, man, the lightsaber under my mom's bed was really nice when I used it as a back massager. Story 16. Windshield wipers. My engineering professor always lectured us on how perfect the design is and how new changes are made strictly aesthetic and don't work any better. Until they invent one that cleans the whole window instead of just parts of it. Easy fix. Make the windshield in the shape of the wiper's wipe. Plates. You can get the ones that don't smash. It's too good. Zoo pals. Holy shit, I haven't thought about those things in years. You've just awoken some long-forgotten memories. Zoo pals makes eating fun. r/we want plates can show you 1,000 examples of people failing to beat plates at their own game. Story 17. The steam turbine. It is such a useful way to convert heat into electricity that it would not be surprising to see one strapped to a fusion reactor if one ever got built. They're already strapped to fission reactors. That's pretty good, I say. Yeah, the steam turbine inventor was way ahead of his time. He really was a visionary. Story 18. I was going to say a shovel, but it looks like people have already said spoons. What is a spoon but a very small shovel? What is a shovel but a very large spoon? Are you asking if there was an invention that does its job so well that nothing else can do the same job better? Like how a light bulb can give off more light than a candle, but so far we haven't produced anything that emits light better than LEDs. Or are you asking if there's an invention that perfectly solves a specific problem? Like if you want to keep dry while walking in the rain, your best choice is an umbrella. Things that come to mind are AM/FM radio. It's about as efficient as it's going to get. The pencil and pencil sharpener. I don't really see how they can improve them. The match and lighter. The umbrella, the hammer, the bucket, the TV remote, the fishing pole, the hinge, the spring. Gonna have to disagree with the TV remote. It needs a sharp, pointy bit so people know when they're sitting on it. Also, less of those buttons that serve no purpose but to confuse grandparents. And a button on the TV that sets off an alarm on the remote so you can find the bastard. Story 19. The shredder valve used to inflate your bicycle tires, car tires, tractor tires, etc. was patented in 1893. It is still used in virtually every tire on the planet, and now you know its name. Story 20. I don't know, sliced bread is pretty hard to improve on. Plus, it's made life easier for pretty much anyone who enjoys bread. I present to you double-cooked sliced bread. Sliced bread could be improved by coming in half loaves. I never finish a full loaf before it molds, and I hate freezing and thawing it out. Story 21. Crocodiles, or any apex predator that lived through the K through T extinction, physically unchanged for 100 million years because it's the perfect killing machine. A half-ton of cold-blooded fury, the bite force of 20,000 newtons, and stomach acid so strong it can dissolve bones and hooves. Are alligators and brain aneurysms your two other greatest fears?